Niles finds himself stuck in an endless cycle of repeating the same day, living through it repeatedly for an extended period. In the sunny setting of Palm Springs, he is forced to wake up alongside a woman he isn't fond of again and again. Stuck in a time loop, two wedding guests, Niles and Sarah, develop a budding romance while living the same day over and over again. In Palm Springs, on November 9th, Niles begins his day by unsuccessfully attempting to have intimate relations with his girlfriend, Misty. As the day progresses, Niles and Sarah form a connection while attending a wedding reception held for Sarah's sister, Tala, and her soon-to-be husband, Abe. Niles suggests finding a place where they can be alone. Sarah hesitates, questioning whether he is not afraid that his girlfriend would mind. Niles responds, stating that his girlfriend wouldn't care about it, and proceeds to show Sarah, as they witness his girlfriend engaging in sexual activity with another man. They are about to have sex when Niles gets unexpectedly struck in the shoulder by an arrow shot by an older individual named Roy. Injured, he struggles towards a strange glowing light emanating from a nearby cave, urging Sarah not to pursue. However, driven by curiosity, Sarah finds herself drawn into a whirlwind within the depths of the cave. Sarah woke up and found her family meticulously arranging things for the wedding. She then realized that time had gone back to November 9th. She rushed to the swimming pool where Niles often swam and confronted him. Niles explained that when he entered the cave, Sarah became trapped in the time loop with him. Sleeping or dying would reset the loop, repeating November 9th. Niles, who had long been trapped, was complacent and carefree, having given up hope of escape. Sarah tried various methods to break free from the loop, including staying awake all night, driving away from Palm Springs, and even intentionally crashing her car in a suicide attempt. However, she was unsuccessful, and she remained trapped in the time loop. Niles and Sarah frequently spend their time together, enjoying the pool of an empty house while the owners are away. Niles confesses to Sarah that the person who shot him, Roy, is also trapped in the same time loop because of him. Niles explained to Sarah that he had always been trapped in the time loop, unable to escape despite trying every method he could think of. He started to get to know everyone in that day out of utter boredom. One time, he got to know this man. They had such a good time together that they both lost their senses. Roy remarked on the beauty of the day and wished he could stay in it forever. In a state of confusion, Niles led him to the cave, telling him that it could keep him in the present day. Both of them were so carried away that Roy stumbled into the cave, and thus, he got trapped in November 9th forever. As a form of retaliation, Roy occasionally tries to hunt down Niles, causing him immense pain, or even killing him. Over time, Sarah grows closer to Niles and starts embracing his carefree and adventurous way of life. They take a plane up into the sky and then crash it back to the ground, place a bomb in the wedding cake, and blow it up into the air. Sarah even deliberately entices one of her admirers, getting him to blindfold himself and look for her in the bathroom, only for him to walk in on Niles' girlfriend in the midst of an affair. Day after day passes like this, and as time goes by, they develop feelings for each other. One night, Niles and Sarah go camping in the desert, get really drunk, and finally end up in bed together. When they open their eyes again, they are still in their own beds. They both revel in the joy of the previous night, smiling involuntarily. However, Sarah's smile quickly fades because standing behind her is the shirtless groom, who is her sister's husband. Later on, Niles and Sarah go out together, and Roy, disguised as a police officer, comes after Niles again. Since none of them can die, Sarah decides to play along with Roy. In the end, she successfully knocks Roy down, but a real police officer arrives on the scene. He tases them severely with a stun gun and captures them alive. This infuriates Niles because although they can't die, the pain they feel is real. Sarah is causing pain. Upon hearing this, Sarah also gets angry, saying if she had known how useless Niles was, she wouldn't have slept with him the day before. Niles scoffs at this and says, "Don't be ridiculous. We've actually slept together thousands of times." Sarah's eyes widen in shock, and Niles has to admit he lied, although he has indeed been with Sarah countless times. Heartbroken, Sarah no longer wants to stay on this day and vows to find a way to leave. Ever since then, Sarah has vanished from the world. Even as days reset over and over, she does not reappear, and Niles can no longer find her. In the process of looking for her, he stands vigil by her bedside, only to see the groom Abe, and is shocked to learn that Sarah and her brother-in-law had an affair the night before her sister's wedding. He makes a scene at the wedding, exposing Abe's true colors to everyone and beating him up. However, after another time loop, he can still only watch Abe pretend to be loving with Sarah's sister Tala, as if nothing had happened. Everything feels so meaningless. He has felt angry, helpless, and suicidal over this. In the end, he doesn't even want to live anymore, and takes the initiative to find Roy. However, this time Roy does not attack him, but instead has a heart-to-heart with him. It turns out Roy's life was originally very happy. He had a beautiful garden and 2 well-behaved children late in life. His daughter liked to play on the rocking horse, while his son liked to water the dog's poop. Roy says that after Sarah crashed into him that day and injured him severely, he was sent to the ICU and had to gradually accept death. That feeling of despair made him realize that just being able to be with his family is already a blessing. Therefore, since then, he has never tried to kill Niles again. Roy does not know about Sarah's disappearance and remarks sentimentally that it's a good thing to have someone to go through the time loop together with Niles. This makes Niles even more heartbroken inside. But where has Sarah been all these days? Actually, after arguing with Niles, she didn't want to fall further. She goes to a cafe to take online quantum mechanics classes and self-studies. As the days loop again and again, Sarah gradually becomes enlightened and gains a lot of strange knowledge, to the point that even the professor feels that she no longer needs to be taught. Gradually, she begins to understand the principle of the time loop and finds Niles. Niles is both shocked and delighted, eager to make amends with Sarah. But Sarah doesn't want to talk about feelings. She only wants to discuss science. She explains the principle of the time loop to him. Simply put, they are like being trapped in a box, and this box resets itself every midnight in 3.2 seconds. If they can manage to blow themselves up along with the cave within those 3.2 seconds, they could escape this cyclical box. However, Sarah is not sure whether escaping would take them back to the past, into the future, or simply result in their deaths from the explosion. She has previously experimented with a goat, and as a result, the goat actually disappeared. However, Niles says he doesn't want to leave because he has fallen in love with Sarah and wants to stay with her in this day forever. Sarah is moved by this, but she insists on going back and turns to leave. This day, Sarah finally implements her plan. She cherishes this last day. She confesses her true feelings to her sister at the wedding and indirectly warns her brother-in-law not to cheat again and to cherish their relationship. At the same time, she messages Roy and tells him the method to escape the time loop. After everything is finished, she goes alone to the cave, ready to detonate the bomb and leave. Meanwhile, Niles has been getting drunk at the bar. He looks around and sees Sarah's shadow everywhere. It is then that he realizes he's willing to give up everything for Sarah. He runs to the cave overnight and tells Sarah that as long as they can be together, it doesn't matter if they die together. Sarah is once again moved by him, and they embrace each other in the cave. As everything resets, they both press the bomb detonator together. Roy finds Niles and asks him if the method Sarah told him yesterday is true, but Niles looks puzzled, as if he doesn't recognize Roy. As a new day begins, the two of them are still lying by the pool, sunbathing. However, a family by the pool angrily scolds them and demands that they leave. Time has fast-forwarded to November 10th, and the owner of the pool returns from their trip. They will step into a new time and space, and everything they encounter will be fresh and new from then on.